This video, posted by a Facebook user Kenning Gugmako on September 2, 2017, shows a woman preparing to surprise her boyfriend of just 3 days in his condo, only to find out his darkest secret. In the video, the woman can be seen so excited as she set up the camera in the right position. Clad in a sexy short dress, she posed seductively for the hidden camera before hiding in the closet, probably planning to watch her boyfriend's reaction if she suddenly pops up in the room. Moments later, her boyfriend and a mysterious man came in. They appeared to be so heavily intoxicated and started getting intimate with each other. The two men began to undress and got even more intimate in bed. The woman probably heard something suspicious and realized that something was off. So she burst out of the closet and was totally shocked. Her boyfriend's darkest secret was revealed. Police officials were stunned after finding a kidnapped victim with her hands tied and her mouth gagged in the trunk of a vehicle during a routine check. When two men in a white vehicle pulled up to a checkpoint in Brazil, police officials became suspicious after hearing screams coming from the back of the trunk. It was not immediately made clear if authorities ordered the occupants to exit the vehicle, but in a 2-minute video shared on LiveLeak, it shows an officer rummaging through the vehicle in a bid to open the trunk. Another officer is seen trying desperately to open the trunk with his hands, but it wouldn't budge. He then tried pressing several buttons on the dashboard of the vehicle in hopes that the trunk would open. When police were finally able to open the trunk, they made a shocking discovery. A kidnapped victim was found inside of the trunk, curled up with her hands tied and her mouth gagged. Officers immediately helped the woman, who was sobbing uncontrollably, out of the trunk of the vehicle and onto her feet. An officer removed the cloth from her mouth, while another began cutting her hands free with a knife. Afterward, the victim began to hyperventilate while reaching out her arms to the officer, who didn't hesitate to console her. A mother and child were washed to their deaths when they fell from a collapsing bridge during heavy flooding amid one of the most serious humanitarian crises aid workers have known. The horrific moment was recorded on camera as desperate families risked everything to flee the floodwaters in eastern India, which had already claimed the lives of hundreds of people. The single crossing was the sole route across the River Kosi in the Arera district of Bihar near the borders of Nepal and Bangladesh. The video shows families taking turns to run across the rapidly deteriorating bridge as the heavy waters surged below and undercut its foundations. One man is seen on the far side waving for others to cross. He eventually crosses to guide the woman and child back. Tragically, the bridge gave way as they were inches from safety. The mother and child plummeted into the waters below, with the man managing to cling on. He was pulled to safety by fellow villagers. This is the astonishing moment a crocodile clutches a missing man in its jaws after a witch doctor claimed he summoned it to return the body. The missing man, identified as Syarafudin, 41, was bathing in a river with friends when the beast pounced and dragged him beneath the water in Berau Regency of East Kalimantan, Indonesia. Desperate relatives reportedly searched in vain for him, and it was assumed that he had been taken into the depths of the Lempaki River when police failed to find him. Villagers contacted a local black magic wizard who specializes in crocodile witchcraft, and it's claimed he cast a spell for Syarafudin to be brought back alive. Incredibly, his body is said to have emerged the following morning. The predator is purportedly seen floating to the banks with the naked body of Syarafudin in its jaws as the gathered crowd looks on in video footage from the scene. It then dropped off the corpse, sparking suggestions the saltwater crocodile had actually been guarding the victim's body against other predators, seeing as it hadn't been eaten. After locals screamed at the crocodile to let the body go, it complied and disappeared into the murky water. Locals and the authorities recovered Syarafudin's body and soon gave him a proper burial. This video, taken on February 12, 2007, shows construction workers working on top of a building in South China's Guangxi Zhuang Autonomous Region when suddenly the building collapsed, killing 7 people. The accident occurred on Monday at 12:35 p.m. when the 19-meter-high library building under construction at the Guangxi Medical University unexpectedly collapsed. At least 14 workers fell from the building. 3 died at the scene and 4 died later in the hospital. 7 other injured workers were receiving treatment, of whom 3 were in critical condition. This is the astonishing moment a car is hit by lightning and then flies along the road at double the speed before a terrified passenger escapes. The shocking incident was caught on camera and shared online. The video shows the bolt striking the car, seemingly causing it to zoom at twice the speed. Somehow the driver manages to keep the car under control and brings it to a stop. Moments later, smoke is seen pouring from the vehicle. The motorist then runs from the car and hundreds of people spill out of the surrounding shop to help the person. This video, captured on a security camera, shows an escort getting frisky with a man before a long night at a Las Vegas hotel. She even went too far by pressing her ass to the crotch of the man and twerking as they wait in the elevator. She's probably just teasing him. Not only does she spot and point out the camera, she continues to fondle the man until they reach the 27th floor. The foreplay continues as they both disappear into the night. The video cuts, and we see the escort return back to the elevator in visible pain. She also appeared to be crying as she struggled to walk inside. It is not known what really happened to her inside the hotel, but some believed she got abused by the man, or that maybe the man has a huge package. A benevolent force of nature can sometimes be a deadly blow. For a famous Indian TV presenter in the Chembur area of Mumbai, a routine walk after a fresh bout of rains turned fatal when she was struck by a falling tree. The incident, in all its heart-stopping horror, was caught on a nearby security camera. In the video, 58-year-old Kanchan Nath is seen wearing a blue t-shirt and black trousers when, without warning, a 25-foot-high coconut tree comes crashing on her. She immediately falls on the ground. Passers-by witnessed the incident and rushed to rescue her. Ms. Nath was then taken to the hospital and was admitted in the intensive care unit, where she died from brain injuries. Very shocking details have come forward about the incident. It is learned that locals had already made a complaint to BMC to cut the tree as it was leaning toward the ground. A local said, "After our complaint, BMC officials came to the spot and inspected the tree. They came to the conclusion that the tree is fine and will stand for another 10 years. However, just after the inspection, this incident took place." So far, the cops have not registered any FIR in the matter, saying investigations are still on. Natural births on the street appear to be all the rage these days in China, with a shocking video going viral on Chinese social media showing a pregnant woman pulling her pants down and letting her baby fall to the pavement. In the rather graphic video, which was filmed at a wet market in Jiangxi's Le'an County, a horde of older ladies can be heard shouting advice at the pregnant woman who has suddenly gone into labor while out grocery shopping. As the moment approaches, the women urge her to pull down her pants faster. Only seconds after the woman pulls her pants down, the baby falls down onto the ground with a thud and a cry, shocking onlookers. From there, the miracle of life only gets messier as the woman is seen squatting in shock and pain as her newborn son squirms around in a pool of blood and amniotic fluid. One woman tries to slide a piece of cardboard underneath the woman. At last, someone steps forward to help. The elderly woman reportedly has experience with childbirth and quickly set about tending to the baby, first laying him on some cardboard and then on his mother's pants. A video has emerged showing the shocking moment a boat is sucked into a sinkhole after draining the entire lake. Sinkholes are a terrifying prospect as they can form in any place at any given time. Many people around the world have been sucked into them as the ground opens up without any warning. 2 men on a boat also found this out as they were out sailing. The sinkhole even drains the entire lake before they were pulled into it. The video, which has had over 200,000 views on Imager, shows the sinkhole opening up on the lake in Brazil as the tiny rowboat is pulled towards it. The entire lake is emptied, with many fish appearing to be in distress around them. They then appear to be stranded in the middle, whilst the rest of the ground is sucked into it, before being rescued later by a crane and were not injured.